Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Ozark, Arkansas, and Ozark High School Gymnasium, the site of the 4A state basketball tournament. This afternoon, we've got an important quarterfinal matchup between the second-seeded Prairie Grove Lady Tigers and the second seed from the East region, the Brookland Bearcats. Dr. Williams is going to be joining me. I'm Derek Dugan, and Dr. Williams, our superintendent, is going to be joining me in just a few minutes. We're about 8 minutes away from starting lineups and tip-off. We're going to come back and set up the game in just a minute. But until that point, we're going to run a commercial here for the AAA that we are required to run to be able to webcast these games. So we're going to run that, and then we'll be back in a couple of minutes to set up this afternoon's matchup.
The schools participating in this football playoff game are members of the Arkansas Activities Association as authorized by the school boards. The administrators of these schools have helped to write the rules and regulations that govern participation of students in competitive activities for the schools that are members of the Arkansas Activities Association. The Arkansas Activities Association, which is sponsoring this football playoff game, is a voluntary nonprofit educational association of some 500 junior and senior public and private high schools of Arkansas. The regulations which guide these events are adopted by the schools themselves and determine the type of program they believe to be the most desirable for high school youth. The Arkansas Activities Association is one of 50 state organizations that belong to the National Federation of State High School Associations. This association formulates policies, game rules, and standards for inter-school competition. The schools of Arkansas have adopted these rules on eligibility, which correspond to those recommended by the National Federation.
The Arkansas Activities Association believes that athletes are taught many things through sports. In addition to these skills, they learn self-control, ideals of fair play and honesty, respect for authority and for opposing players. To learn these values results in maximum benefits from his or her athletic experiences.
Welcome back. We're about 6 minutes away from tip-off between this quarterfinal matchup between the Lady Tigers of Prairie Grove and the Lady Bearcats of Brookland. Dr. Williams is joining me now, and Dr. Williams, we're familiar with this team at the state tournament, right?
We are. I think we've played 2 years in a row now with us winning one, and then last year Brookland got the best of us, I believe, and sent us home at the end of the year.
Well, we know Brookland, what we're going to get from them. They're going to be familiar with us, and we're going to be familiar with them, but going through just a little bit of the bracket from earlier yesterday and earlier this afternoon, there's been a couple of games that played. 3 out of the 4 semifinalists on the girls' side have been set. And on one side of the bracket is the Riverview girls. They'll be facing the Star City girls from the South region. That game will be tomorrow afternoon. And then the Ozark girls won this afternoon. They played Pocahontas, won by about 25 points. And so they are awaiting the winner of this game. And the winner of this game will go on to the semifinals to play tomorrow afternoon. Earlier today as well, on the boys' side of the bracket, Subiaco just finished their win against Hamburg on the boys' side. So 3 out of the 4 finalists are ready to go in the Final Four. Another ticket, so to speak, will be punched this afternoon. And Dr. Williams, Lady Tigers looked great yesterday, coming off a win against Crossett from the South region. Shot the ball extremely well. What did you see in that game, and what can we take from that game? A quick turnaround while Brookland's had a little bit of a rest here. This will be their first game. But what can we take from that game, that experience yesterday, going into today's ball game?
Well, one thing, that game started at a frantic pace. They were up and down the court a lot. And it really didn't slow down a whole lot most of the day. So our girls are in good shape, but kind of might look early to see if that game has a little effect with us, with Brookland having the rest, because if I remember from last year, and I don't know how much change there is to Brookland's team, but they were a little bit smaller team, similar to us, and played at a fast pace as well. So I expect we'll see some more of that today. Our girls were disciplined. They made the passes they need to, got good shots, attacked the goal. And basically we've done that all year long. So I expect some more of that today.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. It was a 20-point game at halftime, and I was already kind of looking forward to this game. I didn't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I was hoping at some point we were going to be able to get some key players some rest, and we gave credit to CrossFit as they came out of the halftime break, and they played with a lot of pride. And we really had to play a full almost 4 quarters before we were able to get our starters out of the ball game. So I think you're right in that respect. It may come into play today. Although you take the other side of it, Brookland, they have not played since last week in their regional championship game. They lost that game to Riverview, and so they have not played. This is their first time out in a new gym that they're not used to being at, so it may be an adjustment period for them as well.
That's true, and that may be an advantage for us in that we've played some games in this gym last year and then, of course, yesterday. When you're talking about that Final Four for the girls, 3 of those teams in there, and then the winner of this game, it's got some traditional power in Star City coming out of the South. They've just, I think I read in the paper earlier this year, they'd won 101 straight conference games before the regional tournament started. And heard a lot of good things about Riverview. I had somebody that's been watching the whole tournament tell me that Riverview, in their mind, looked to be the toughest team in here, perhaps. So I think the East is pretty tough, and of course Brookland was the 2nd seed out of that East.
Right.
So expect a tough game today.
Yeah, most definitely. And we were watching the Riverview game yesterday, Dr. Williams, and as far as youth, they're pretty similar to us. They did not start a senior in their starting 5, so they're a team that should be good again next year, as I think our girls will be also. One of the points that Lynn and I talked about yesterday, kind of an unfortunate deal for Brookland, is they're going to be playing without their head coach this afternoon. He was disqualified from their regional final game, and so the girls from Brookland are going to have a little bit of an adjustment period to make, us not hearing the same voice and seeing a different face over there on the sideline, as I think their assistant coach will now take over head coaching responsibilities for them.
Right, and we that may have an effect today. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm sure the assistant's been there with them all year long, but just kind of the rhythm of when a coach calls timeouts and some of those things may be a little bit different today.
Well, we're getting ready for the starting lineups. We'd like to say hello to everybody that's watching back home or across the state, sometimes even across the nation. We know that Miss Savage over in West Helena is watching as always, so we'd like to say hello to her. If you are watching and you'd like to give us feedback, just go to our comments page and let us know how the production's coming across, making sure that you can see everything and hear everything that you need to be doing. The Lady Tigers will be the visitors this afternoon. Both of these teams are 2 seeds, but Brookland's on top of the bracket, so the home team is always at the top of the bracket. So the Lady Tigers will be in their black jerseys, while Brookland will be in their white jerseys. First up will be the starting lineup for the Prairie Grove Lady Tigers. Here is the number 33, the junior post, Ashley Cox. Number 23, also a junior, Maddie Harton. And number 21, coming off a 30-plus point game yesterday, Dr. Williams, Taylor Harton.
Great game yesterday.
And there's number 20, the sophomore guard, Camry Bartholomew. And number 3, sophomore post player is Parker Lopez. And Parker had 18 points yesterday, a very good offensive game for her as well. And now the starting lineups for the Brookland Lady Bearcats. There's number 20, Rachel Gramling. She's a junior, 5'10". Number 15, a senior point guard, Callie Milligan. And number 14, a senior guard, Minley Long. Number 10 is a junior forward, Bailey Lovreen. And I may be mispronouncing that, so I apologize to anybody from Brookland that's watching. That's number 2, Alexa Thompson, a senior forward as well. So Dr. Williams, if I'm looking at that correctly, they've got 3 girls at 5'10" in their starting lineup, so a little bit more size than what we saw yesterday for sure.
They have, and I believe that 15 is the same point guard they started last year.
She
was quite a ball handler.
Yes, I do remember that. Well, it should be a fantastic game. It's a great atmosphere here in Ozark. Beautiful facility here, and the Lady Tigers and the Lady Bearcats ready to tip it up here. The winner heads on to the Final Four, the semifinals, which will take place tomorrow right here in Ozark. Referee getting ready to go, and the tip goes to Brookland. That's Milligan with the ball at the top of the key, starting the offense for Brookland. Trying to get the ball inside there, knocked away, but Brookland does a good job, comes away with it. Open three on the wing, no good. Ashley Cox gets the rebound, and now Bartholomew's got it for the Lady Tigers. It doesn't look like we're going to slow the pace down here, Dr. Williams.
No, it doesn't. We opened up in our man-to-man, and Brookland was running a 4-low, and then as soon as we got it, we got down the court in a hurry.
And Brookland comes out man-to-man. There's Lopez from a three on the corner. Nothing but net right there, and Lady Tigers off to a great start, lead at 3-0. Brookland pushes the ball back quickly. Now stolen away. Bartholomew comes away with it for the Lady Tigers. It's good to see Lopez knock that three-point shot down.
It is. I think some folks have been scouting us, and they expect her to drive to the goal.
Right.
If she starts hitting that three, she'll be very tough to cover.
That's exactly right. Now Lopez has got it at the top of the key for the Lady Tigers. 6:45 to play in the first quarter. Now Lopez from the same exact spot. There she goes, almost got it to go. Rebound goes to Long for Brookland, and Brookland looking to push the pace as well. Throw it inside, or at least try to. Lavrine comes up with it. Now they settle things back up and run a little offense here.
Kind of interesting there. They had one of their forwards bring the ball up on that possession.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Brookland's trying to get the defensive rebound and push the ball, just like our girls seem to want to do a lot of the times. That shot a little bit short there from Grambling, and the Lady Tigers are back with it into the front court. That's Maddie Harton now with the ball. Coach Froud wanting more motion in this offense, and Bartholomew back out to Lopez. Now Camry's going to try to drive it inside. Nice job off the glass. Lady Tigers got a 5-point lead. Here comes Brookland very quickly into the front court. 5:30 to play in the first quarter. Brookland yet to get on the scoreboard here.
Oh, nice defense.
Very nice defense. Ashley Cox knocks the ball away, and boy, Bartholomew's come up with a lot of those loose balls, but credit Ashley Cox with the tip away there.
Well, our sophomores have got our first 5 points of the game, and hopefully they'll keep going here.
Now Lopez in the corner. She's going to drive to the left side, goes up and knocked out of bounds there, I believe. Actually, they're going to call a foul. They sure are, okay. They get that foul on number 20, Rachel Grambling. First foul of the ball game. Lady Tigers will set up an inbounds play here. We talked about that yesterday, Dr. Williams. I think our leading scorer on the year is Maddie Harton, and there's Maddie. She's got it inside, knocked away by Grambling. Nice defensive play there, and the Lady Bearcats come back at it, but we played so well without Maddie really getting going offensively, and that's a credit to our team that can score a lot of different ways, really.
Maddie made a good little move to get inside the player there, but got the ball tipped on the shot.
4:49 to play, and now Lavrine spins back to the left side. She goes up, no good. Lopez with the rebound, and she'll bring the ball up the floor.
They've tried to take advantage of their size and getting the ball right to the lip of the goal, but our defense and rebounding's hanging in there real well right now.
It sure has. Lopez thought about it from the corner. Now Maddie Harton drives, kicks it to Bartholomew. She drives it inside. Going to be called with the double dribble there. I almost thought the Brookland player knocked it away, but I guess Camry kept control of it there.
It looked like the ball had gotten tipped, but she may have gotten two hands on it.
Lady Tigers in a little bit of three-quarter court pressure here. Brookland has no trouble getting the ball across now. There's Milligan, and that's who you talked about, Dr. Williams. We remember her from last year. She hits that three to get Brookland on the scoreboard, and with 4 minutes to play in the first quarter, the lead is 2 for the Lady Tigers. Both teams really playing aggressive defense here.
They've stepped up their aggression on the outside and trying to get a hand up.
Yes, they have. Lopez from 3 from the outside, no good, and Milligan comes away with the ball for Brookland. There goes number 10, Lavrine, all the way to the basket. She's going to be fouled and go to the free throw line and get 2. Boy, Brookland really pushing the ball in transition, Dr. Williams.
They are. They're trying to play at a fast pace and get the ball down the floor before we can set our defense.
Now this will be the first free throw attempt of the game for either team.
That foul was on number 21, Taylor Harton.
That was the first team foul for the Lady Tigers, so the first for Taylor. Lavrine hits the first free throw to cut the lead to 1. The second one is also good, so 5-5 with 3:35 to play in the first quarter. Camry Bartholomew sets up the offense for the Lady Tigers. Now Coach Froud wanted to call a different play, so the ball comes back to Bartholomew to set this up. This is one of the same plays we've seen here in postseason that Coach Froud has put in just recently. Now Lopez is going to try to attack.
Kind of went to that stack, and Lopez got the ball to Ashley on the wing, and then they kind of reset here.
Well, now Maddie Harton's got it. She tries to get it over to Ashley Cox, and it's going to go out of bounds over to Brookland. Here comes the full court pressure again. Now let's see if Lady Tigers, they kind of back off a little bit, just kind of a slow down type of deal to maybe slow the tempo of the game just a little bit. Nice pass inside to number 14, Long. She can't finish. Bartholomew with the rebound again for the Lady Tigers. Now Harton's got it on the left side. She's going to be called for a travel right there. We're going to have our first substitution of the game. It looks like Taylor Doss is going to be checking in for the Lady Tigers. She's going to replace Maddie. So Taylor Doss, the sophomore, great defensive player for the Lady Tigers. Played some really solid defense this year. Give Maddie a little breather.
Yeah, this is the third time I've noticed to avoid the defensive pressure of our guards. They've got a forward bringing the ball down.
Yeah, that's a good point. Remember Milligan, she was kind of a one-man press breaker last year. Now Brookland's coming with a little full court pressure. 2:20 to play in the first quarter. And that ball stolen away by Milligan. They're going to get Bartholomew on the foul there. Dr. Williams, we saw pressure from Crossett yesterday, but we were able to handle it really nicely as the game went on.
This was a little bit different, kind of almost a 1-1-2, trying to drive you into a trap on the sideline.
Well, Brookland's got it with approaching 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Tie ball game. The Lady Tigers scored the first 5 of the ball game. Brookland responded by scoring the next 5. That ball's thrown away, and the Lady Tigers will get it back. Here's another chance to break that pressure. Nice job that time by the Lady Tigers as Doss gets the ball into the front court. Now over to Lopez. Lopez drives it inside. Blocked away by Lavrine, and she gets the ball for Brookland. Nice block there. Now Milligan drives it inside, kicks it over to Long. Long three-point basket. Knocked out of bounds. Looks like Brookland's going to keep the ball there.
Oh, that looked like number 10 jumped up and tipped the ball.
Yeah, and there's a discussion going on. Let's see if they actually changed the call. Well, okay, now they got it right.
Okay.
They got it right. We were all over that one. We got it. I'd like to say hello back home. Alicia Clement is watching, former Lady Tiger, state champion Lady Tiger from the 2010 team, watching at home. Wishing the Lady Tigers this year good luck against Brookland. 1:30 to play in the first quarter as Brookland stays with this pressure in the full court. Bartholomew's got it back. Now she gets it across the half-court line to Lopez. Bartholomew thought about the three, now steps back and shoots it, no good, but nice rebound by Lopez. She goes up and one, and she gets the finish. Great finish right there at the basket by Parker Lopez.
Strong move with the ball there and got it up and over the goal even though she got fouled.
Well, that's our first basket in a long time. We scored those first 5 points in about the first 2 minutes. It had been about 4 minutes since we had scored. We needed that one, and Lopez can't finish the three-point play there, but nice rebound. Hustle by Cox. She gets it back to Lopez, no good. Good hustle there by Ashley Cox once again. Now stolen away. Milligan can't control the ball. Taylor Harton pushing the ball into the front court. She goes up and finishes with the layup. Lady Tigers with 4 straight points. It's 9-5 with 45 seconds to play as Brookland comes back quickly. Nice spin move by Long to finish with the layup. 9-7 now. A little more up-tempo the past minute or so of this game. Good job once again by the Lady Tigers to get it into the front court. Boy, Brookland really pushing the tempo when they get a chance.
They are. Now with about 17 seconds, I think we're going to hold it for a last shot.
Yeah, I think you're right. Here with 10 seconds left, Lopez is going to try to initiate the offense for the Lady Tigers. Crosses over to go back to the left side. Good help defense. They're going to call a block right there on Brookland, and Lopez is going to go to the line to shoot 2. That was number 21, Dr. Williams. I don't have her on the roster, I don't believe. So she may be a freshman for Brookland. Sometimes these freshmen that move up don't always get put on the roster, but apologize to anybody watching from Brookland. Number 21 picked up that foul as Lopez hits the first free throw there to give us a 10-7 lead with 2.7 seconds left in the first quarter. Second free throw is no good, and 21 for Brookland gets it. Not able to get the full court shot there at the end of the first quarter. So after 1 quarter of play, the Lady Tigers lead Brookland 10-7. We'll be back right after this.
Looking for free checking that isn't free of extras? It's as easy as finding your nearest Arvest bank. Our free Blue checking comes with lots of features, including free online and mobile banking, and the ability to deposit a check just by taking a picture of it with your smartphone. And since it's from Arvest, you'll have the freedom of more than 240 locations and 7-to-7 banking. You shouldn't have to pay for convenience. Switch to free Blue checking from Arvest Bank.
After 1 quarter of play, the Lady Tigers here in a quarterfinal matchup between Prairie Grove and Brookland. Lady Tigers out to a 10-7 lead. Dr. Williams, thoughts on the first quarter?
Well, it was a quick first quarter, and the pace is going to be pretty fast. Parker Lopez really stepping up, got 6 of our 10 points in that first quarter. You know, this is a game. I think it's 2 pretty evenly matched teams, and whoever plays the best here and gets the shots to fall is probably going to come out on top.
Well, what I like about the first quarter as well is the Lady Tigers, we did hit 1 3-point basket, but anytime we can have a lead without really being on from the outside is good for us. Lopez picking up right where she left off yesterday. Sarah James Stone, the freshman for the Lady Tigers, number 24, is checked into the ball game. So the Lady Tigers have possession of the ball. Taylor Harton drives it in a little bit too strong. Milligan gets the rebound for Brookland, and she's going to be fouled. I think they get Ashley Cox on that foul, I believe.
Looks like Ashley on that one.
Well, 3 team fouls for each team, so the referee's letting both teams play. And here comes Long. Boy, she just got it and went all the way. Nice job by Bartholomew to stop the ball as Brookland sets up their offense. It's a nice pass inside, a little bit too strong by Milligan, and Cox gets the rebound for the Lady Tigers. And here's Maddie Harton trying to drive around. It's number 20 Grambling for Brookland. Ball went off of Grambling's foot, and the Lady Tigers will get it back.
You know, both these teams are well coached. You can see them changing defenses and offensive sets almost every time down the floor. And they seem to know what they're doing when they do that.
Camry just shuffled her feet right there and is called for the travel. I believe that's the third turnover for the Lady Tigers as Parker Lopez checks back into the game to replace Ashley Cox. Nobody on either team in any kind of foul trouble at this point in the game. 7:12 to play in the first half.
We're giving Ashley, you may have mentioned that, Sarah James Stone, I think, in the game, giving Ashley a break.
A much-deserved break for Ashley. She plays hard every minute she's out there. Brookland gets the ball back. Milligan trying to work on Taylor Harton on the left side. Now gets it out to Lavrine. Now an open shot at the top of the key, a little bit too strong. Great block out by the Lady Tigers as Harton comes away with the ball. That was long with the three-point shot again for Brookland. Maddie Harton now driving to the basket. Wasn't able to finish. Rebound Brookland. Ball fumbled around, and now it's going to go out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Lady Tigers. The way that Long is shooting the ball for Brookland, Dr. Williams, it looks like she's a good shooter. She's missed a couple open looks, but going to have to find a way to get out on her, it would appear.
She's got good form. The ball comes out of her hands looking good, and have to keep the defensive pressure on her.
Well, we're almost 2 minutes into the second quarter. Neither team has scored. As Lopez sets it up, and I think Brookland's gone to his own defense. Maybe for the first time. I don't remember them going to zone.
You know, it looks like a 2-3 zone, but they're coming out trying to match us. Wow, what a shot.
Well, three-point shot there by Maddie. The 2-3 zone may not last another possession if Maddie shoots it like that. Her first points of the game, and the Lady Tigers have a 6-point lead with 5:45 to play in the first half. Thompson drives it inside. She finishes off the glass. And Brookland cuts the lead to 4. 5.5 to play in the first half. Oh, dangerous pass right there and a nice anticipation by Long. She goes all the way to the basket to finish with the layup, and the lead is back down to 2 points.
We've been handling their pressure pretty well, but that one got away from us.
And Brookland has gone back to their man defense here with 5 minutes to play. Bartholomew drives it inside. Nice finish by her. 15-11 with 5 minutes to play. And boy, Long coming back again as quick as she can. Got a little bit ahead of herself there as she turns the ball over back to the Lady Tigers. And now a little more intense full court pressure from Brookland to start the ball. Lopez gets it across to Bartholomew, and now Bartholomew on the move again. She goes and lays. Oh, they're going to call it on the floor. Oh, goodness.
I think that was on the move to the goal, but
I've seen it called both ways. Unfortunate break there for the Lady Tigers. Another good move to the basket by Camry. And number 21 is checking back into the game, as that's the second foul on Grambling, so that's a big foul for Brookland as she goes to the bench with 2 fouls and still 4:51 to play in the half. Lopez having a little bit of trouble getting the ball in bounds, and now she finds her outlet with Bartholomew at the top of the key. Lopez, a nice shot fake. She drives baseline, not able to finish. Ball's batted around, and Thompson comes away with it for Brookland. Now on the move, Long again, all the way to the basket. They really like to find her on the fast break, and she's finished a couple of times here. She's got 6 points now in the ball game to lead the Brookland scoring. 4:19 to play in the first half. Harton steps back and shoots a 3, no good. Taylor Harton comes away with a great pass over to Lopez. She can't finish, and Lavrine gets it for Brookland. Well, it's been a fast pace at times, and then it slows down at times. Just seems like to give the girls a breather a little bit. They kind of slow it down.
Well, Maddie had the ball inside, and somebody got a hand on the ball. didn't go in, but we're back playing our defense now.
Well, there's a three-point shot from Long that we talked about. Another good look from her. I believe that's the first three-point basket, or maybe second three-point basket for Brookland, and that's their first lead of the ball game. 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Brookland leads it by 1. Taylor Harton, yesterday's leading scorer, trying to get going offensively. Bartholomew drives it. Now she's going to be fouled. Good drive to the basket by Camry.
You know, Camry's made 4 good drives to the basket and scored on 2 of them. One of them made the shot, but the foul was called out on the floor before she got there.
Well, Camry has kind of been known here lately for her three-point shooting ability, but she's been able to show thus far in the game that she can put the ball on the floor and get to the basket a little bit as well. And that's Thompson's second foul for Brookland. So Brookland now with 2 starters over on the bench. The 5th team foul for Brookland as Bartholomew hit her first free throw. And she got her second one to go. So Lady Tigers back with a 1-point lead, 3:20 to play in the first half. Bartholomew with 6 points now in the ball game for the Lady Tigers. Milligan trying to drive inside. She kicks it out to number 21, a little bit long on the the three-point attempt. The Lady Tigers get it back. And now Maddie Harton takes aim from the wing. She got it. 3-point basket for Maddie Harton, her second three-pointer of the game. Second in this quarter as well, so Maddie's got 6 points.
Nice steal. Camry Bartholomew gets a steal, and number 14 for Brookland, Minley Long, fouled her. She was going for the ball.
And the 6th foul for Brookland, so the next team foul, the Lady Tigers will be in the bonus with 2.5 minutes to play. A 4-point lead for Prairie Grove right now. Coach Froud pulls the ball back a little bit, tries to slow things down. Lopez has got it. She comes back to the left side and gets it to Bartholomew. We're going to reset it, and looks like we're going to run something different here.
Bringing Taylor out front to set the offense.
Kind of a little isolation at play, it looked like, to get Lopez, but Brookland did a good job with help defense. Bartholomew steps back to shoot the three. Good offensive rebound by Maddie.
Harton
gives us an extra chance at a shot here. Brookland's played defense for a long time on this possession. 1.5 minutes to play in the in the first half.
Well, both teams play good defense out on the perimeter, and you got to get your shot off pretty quick if you're going to get it from out there.
Exactly right. Now Maddie gets it to her sister Taylor. Now Bartholomew driving the baseline. She's stuck with her dribble there. Nice job by Taylor coming to help out. Less than a minute to play in the first half. Lady Tigers with a 4-point lead. Bartholomew no good off the
nice offensive
backboard.
Rebound.
Another
Ashley
offensive
Cox.
rebound. Bartholomew along 2, no good.
Another
rebound.
one.
My goodness. They're going to call a jump ball, and finally Brookland gets the ball back. Was that 4 offensive rebounds on that possession?
I believe that's correct.
Great effort right there by the Lady Tigers, giving themselves multiple opportunities to score. And now with 44 seconds to play, looks like Haley Morgan, number 25, is checked in for Brookland.
We also brought Taylor Doss back in to give Camry Bartholomew a break.
And 30 seconds to play, and it looks like Brookland may be holding for the last shot. Lavrine drives it inside, off the glass, a little bit too strong. Nice rebound by Morgan inside, and we're going to get a foul called, I believe, against the Lady Tigers.
I think Coach Froud's saying that looked like the jump ball that we had on the other end of the court is the same two girls, in fact, I believe.
Well, and unfortunate for Ashley as that's her second foul. The Lady Tigers with just 4 team fouls. 19 seconds to play in the first half. Now Milligan sets the offense with 10 seconds to play for Brookland. She drives it to the right side, kicks it out to Long. Step back long, 2-point basket, no good. Morgan chases it down, gets off a desperation shot at the buzzer, no good. And at the end of the first half, the Lady Tigers in a quarterfinal matchup with a 20-16 lead over Brookland. Dr. Williams, do you want to go through scoring stats right now, or do you want to come back at the end of the halftime break?
We might want to come back at the end.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm on target
I'll
here.
give you a few minutes to total it up here. So
Okay.
we'll take a quick commercial break, be back in about 7 minutes to go through scoring, and be back for the second half.
I wonder if Buck Lewis had any idea as to what he was starting when he sold his first Ford back in 1946. He was on the square in Fayetteville.
I've been trying to keep up with ours, but I don't know if I'm there or
location on
not.
North College back in 1969.
We'll see if it adds
Through all
up.
those years, Lewis has always been at the helm, and that tradition continues today. It's that kind of family value and heritage that makes Lewis Automotive the place to buy your next vehicle. Be it a Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, or Jeep, new or used, you can still find a Lewis standing behind every single deal. Award-winning service, 6 locations, and over 1,000 vehicles. It's amazing. A lot has changed, but the Lewis heritage and tradition continues. Lewis Automotive, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas since 1946. Let's face it, life's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that place in Prairie Grove is Frederick's One Stop, serving Prairie Grove since 1975. They say, go Tigers! If you're looking for America's most dependable, long-running, full-size truck, then you're looking for the Chevy Silverado. And you'll find a fantastic selection at Everett Chevrolet right off of I-49. But right now, they're excited about the totally redesigned Tahoe and Suburban. If you're looking to move your small team around, you can do it in style with Everett Chevrolet. And you'll also find 2 of America's favorite sports cars there, the Chevy Camaro and the Corvette's that first home, or maybe the first new car and you want it properly covered. Think Shelter Insurance and Mark Spence. Or maybe you just welcome into the world that little gift of a child. You want to make sure that their future's secure. Think Mark Spence and Shelter Insurance. Let's face it, you want someone local, someone that you know, someone that can be by your side when you need them to be there. Think Mark Spence and Shelter Insurance. Home, life, auto, RV, boat, motorcycle insurance. Think Mark Spence, your local Shelter Insurance agent. Call 846-2999. That's 846-2999. Shelter Insurance and Mark Spence proudly support Tiger athletics and activities.
Oh, that's us, yeah. Yeah, here's us up here. Yeah, I was doing that too at first. I was trying to get it to add up, and I thought,
Life can come at you from a lot of different directions, and you need to be prepared with the proper insurance. Let John Galligan of the Galligan Insurance Alliance make sure that you, your loved ones, and your home and all that's near and dear to you is properly covered. You see, the Galligan Insurance Alliance is an independent insurance agent and allows him the flexibility to shop the very best policy at the very best price, and this gives you the coverage and the peace of mind that you need at the rate that fits your budget. It's the best case scenario when it comes to covering all that is near and dear to you. Check them out on Facebook or drop by the website GalliganInsuranceAlliance.com. And you can always call 479-282-0605, 479-282-0605. The Galligan Insurance Alliance.
Car-Mart of Northwest Arkansas. Come on down and see why Car-Mart continues to earn the repeat business with so many customers. Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club represents our kids' sporting events grades K through 12. Like us on Facebook and follow us at Prairie Grove Tigers. If you'd be interested in helping out the sports teams with a monetary donation, please visit their website at pgboosterclub.com.
Back in Ozark, we've got about 3 minutes left until the start of the second half. The Lady Tigers with a 4-point lead. And Dr. Williams, you and I were looking at the scoreboard here. They've got an outstanding scoreboard that's got points and fouls and everything we could need except for the people that are on the bench. So we've got a missing basket out there for Brookland. We've accounted for almost all of their points over the halftime break. But Dr. Williams, do you want to go through the scoring in the first half?
I'll do that. For Brookland, their leading scorer is Minley Long. So 12th grade guard. She's got 9 points so far. Bailey Lovren has 2, and Callie Milligan 3. And then there's that one basket. I thought it was with Rachel Gramling early in the game, but I'm not certain of that at this point.
I think we've narrowed it down to a possibility of 5 different players that it could be with that extra basket there. So maybe we'll get that sorted out by the time the game is over with.
On the Prairie Grove side, we've got very balanced scoring. Got Parker Lopez, Camry Bartholomew, and Maddie Harton, all with 6 points each. And then Taylor Harton has 2 points. And you can tell that Brookland was scouting the game yesterday. They tried to cover Taylor up. They saw her shooting, but we've had some others step up and hit it today as well.
Well, and I think that's one of the great things about this year's team is you don't really have that one player that teams can just really key on. That we've got, at any given time, and of course Ashley Cox can score a lot of points getting loose balls and offensive rebounds, but really those other 4 girls out there can all score the basketball in a lot of different ways, and it makes us really hard to defend at times.
That's one of the scouting reports. I heard a couple of coaches talking at the regional tournament, and one of the, I believe it was one of the coaches from this River Valley Conference down here asked Gentry, said, well, Prairie Grove's got, tell me about their starters. Who do we need to cover? And so the coach sat there for a second. He said, you better cover all 5 of them.
Yeah.
They said, no. Said, which one really leads it? And And he said, no, I'm telling you, said, you better cover all 5 because if you only cover 4, the other one was going to beat you.
Well, and that's exactly right. And I was watching CAC girls. They played Riverview, Star City last night, and it was basically 5-on-4 because Star City was leaving one girl totally unguarded, and she actually ended up scoring a couple points there late in the ball game. But you really can't do that against our girls this year. That we've been able to demonstrate the ability that if one girl's not really having their game offensively going, that we've got some other girls that can step up. And case in point, I think you made it, was Taylor Harton. Yesterday scored 30-something points, and today 2 points, and Brookland's really keying in on her. But nonetheless, the other girls have stepped up and given us a lead here at the halftime break. We're ready for the third quarter. We'd also like to say hello to Brooke, who's watching in Kansas. Hope that we're able to get a win this afternoon and get into the Final Four of the state tournament, which will be played tomorrow afternoon. Lopez gets it for the Lady Tigers, stolen away by Long. And Brookland's got the ball into the front court. Brookland took the lead briefly in the first half, late in the first half. The Lady Tigers were able to come back and get the lead. That's a three-point basket on the way by Grambling, no good. And Dr. Williams, I found the missing basket. Thompson, number 2.
It was number 2
for Brookland.
Well, that was my second choice.
Yeah,
would you believe that?
We were bound to get it right. Lady Tigers get the ball back. Bartholomew's got it into the front court to set the offense. They've really backed off of Lopez, and now Bartholomew shoots it from the wing a little bit too strong. Rebound goes to Grambling. And boy, she's taking it coast to coast. Pull up 14-footer there, and she got it to go. Nice pull-up jumper for Brookland.
She handles the ball well for a girl her size and has been bringing it down several times today.
Yeah, you made that point early, and Brookland with a lot of ball handlers on the floor, just as we've got. 6:45 to play in the third quarter. Lead is down to 2. Lopez kicks it out to Bartholomew, who drives baseline, goes up with it, no good, gets her own rebound, can't finish. Ball's knocked out of bounds. I think it's off of Long. The Lady Tigers will retain possession. Getting a lot of offensive rebounds.
We are.
Lately.
And there's a little physical inside that play. There's been more perimeter teams, but there is a little physical play going on inside.
Ashley Cox for the Lady Tigers has got 2 fouls, and then you've got Thompson and Grambling each for Brookland with 2 fouls. Those are the only players in the ball game with 2 fouls to this point. Taylor Harton loses control of the ball, gets it back. I almost thought she double dribbled there, but maybe the Brookland player got a hand on it. Lady Tigers running their 3-man weave offense. Now Bartholomew lets it go from the wing. She gets her own offensive rebound, goes back up with it, no good. Now Lopez gets the rebound. She's going to be fouled. Great effort on the offensive boards by the Lady Tigers.
You know, we had a possession right before the half where we got 3 or 4 offensive rebounds, and I think we got 2 on this possession.
That foul's charged to number 10, Lavrine. That's her first foul in the ball game as Lopez knocks down the first free throw. Number 21 checking back into the game for Brookland. She replaces Lavrine. I would imagine that's going to be a key point in the ball game here is those offensive rebounds. Unfortunately, we're not able to get the second free throw to go, and once again, Grambling trying to go coast to coast. Nice step over and help by Bartholomew, and they get the walk at the top of the key on Thompson. Ball's turned back over to the Lady Tigers.
We've had 3 or 4 of those walks called on the outside, and it's gone against both teams. And I think playing at a fast pace, they catch the pass and trying to make their move to the goal very quickly and getting caught a couple of times with that.
Lopez with the ball, dribbling towards the top of the key. Tries to go to that left side. She's cut off. Now Bartholomew over to Taylor Harton. Taylor Harton, her first open look from the 3 and on the outside, and she made it count right there. 3-point basket, her first three-pointer of the game, 5 points for Taylor, and the lead is back up to 6 for the Lady Tigers. This may be our largest lead of the ball game.
I believe you're correct on that.
Oh, in and out there for Long, and Lopez gets the rebound for the Lady Tigers. Thought she was fouled right there. No call. 4:45 to play in the third quarter. Lady Tigers going to run more offense here, make Brookland work on the defensive end. I would imagine the time of possession is highly in our favor at this point in the ball game. We've had some long possessions. Brookland seems to work at a little bit of faster pace when they've got the ball on offense. Go ahead, Dr. Williams.
We have a foul down there on.
I thought it was a foul, and I think they're actually going to give Coach Froud called a timeout, it looks like.
Okay.
So that's the first timeout of the ball game for either coach. Coach Froud uses his first one. It's a 30-second timeout. The Lady Tigers will get the ball back on the baseline. 24-18, 4:24 to play in the third quarter.
You know, we wondered if we might have to worry about our girls' legs a little bit after the pace they played yesterday, but looking at halftime, Froud took about 2 minutes, and we were back out here warming up, and it looked like Brookland was the one that stayed in to take a little longer breather. So I think our girls are ready to go for the rest of the game.
I hope you're right. 12 minutes plus to play in the ball game, a long way to go, and two evenly matched teams you pointed out earlier. And it's probably, once you get to this point, you're pretty much knowing you're going to play a four-quarter game against whoever you match up with on the floor.
Well, there's only 5 teams with a chance to win it still in 4A, and, of course, these are 2 of them.
Lopez crosses over to the left side, gets the ball to Bartholomew on the baseline. She dribbles it back out. Spin move, now kick out to Bartholomew. She bobbled the catch. She goes ahead and drives it inside. She's going to be fouled. Another nice dribble to the basket by Bartholomew for the Lady Tigers.
Well, that's the 5th or 6th good drive to the basket she's had, and picked up 2 or 3 fouls and made about 6 points doing that.
Well, they get that foul on number 21, who is a player that is still nameless for us. We apologize, she's not on our roster, but that's her second foul for Brookland as Bartholomew hits the first free throw. Lavrine checking back into the game for the Lady Bearcats. The lead is up to 7 now. And now an 8-point lead for the Lady Tigers with 3:50 to play in the quarter. Grambling trying to go all the way to the basket. Now, are they going to call that on the floor?
If they're consistent with first half, they will, but we'll see.
Oh, come on. They count the basket there. Well, that was a almost exact same play that went against us in the first half. They give Grambling the basket there. The foul goes against Bartholomew. The free throw is short. Lopez gets the rebound for the Lady Tigers. That's just Bartholomew's second foul in the ball game. Lead is back down to 6 with 3:35 to play in the third quarter.
Looks like we're going to spread it and make them play a little defense and chase us a little bit. Certainly we'll take a layup or wide open shot.
We'll get the hand check call there on number 10, Lavrine. It's going to be her second foul, the third team foul for Brookland. Sarah James Stones checks into the game to give Ashley Cox a little breather. You know, that was a tough break on the defensive end there, Dr. Williams, but our girls, they kind of know how to play through some adversity here. They've done a good job with this all year. Sometimes you get breaks and sometimes you don't get them, and you just got to play through them and keep your composure.
Right. As we start spreading the floor, our girls, well, just got a steal there.
Thompson with a wide open three-point shot, no good. Chased down by Milligan. Now Grambling spins back to the right side. It's too strong, and now the Lady Bearcats with a couple of extra possessions here. 2:45 to play in the third quarter. The turnovers was not good by the Lady Tigers, but we did a good job of getting back in transition. And now we come up with the ball. Bartholomew once again has the ball come right to her. She's been in the right spot this afternoon. 2:25 to play. Third quarter. Lady Tigers with a 6-point lead. Lopez kicks it over to Maddie Harton from the wing, and she got it to go. Another 3-point basket for Maddie Harton. And now for sure the biggest lead of the ball game for the Lady Tigers. Brookland's going to take a timeout right here. 2:04 to play in the third quarter. The Lady Tigers with a 29-20 lead. Maddie Harton now with 9 points in the ball game. I believe she's the leading scorer for us right now.
I believe you're correct, and I think she's got 7 of her 9 points this quarter.
A great job by Maddie, and really that play was set up by Parker Lopez penetrating inside, getting to the lane, and when you get to that lane, it forces the defense to collapse and it opens some things up, but you sure don't want to leave Maddie open on the wing uncontested over there. She doesn't miss too often from over there.
One thing is we keep this lead. We all know that Coach Froud likes to spread the floor out, make them play defense. We'll take the open shots, but they do have a little bit more size than we have overall, and our girls are going to have to be strong with the ball and make them foul if they come after the ball.
Yeah, you're right, and the great thing about this team is you've really got 4 very good ball handlers on the floor for the Lady Tigers, and it gives you that ability that if you do need to burn some clock and protect the lead, we've got that ability, and we've also got some very good free throw shooters on the team, which makes it even more important. And if you're Brookland right now, you really don't want to see this thing get to double digits, because I think you're right. At some point, we may see that kind of stall game from the Lady Tigers. Still a long way to get to that point. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. 9-point lead for the Lady Tigers. Defensively really locked them down and made things difficult. Milligan trying to work against Taylor Harton, and Taylor keeps her in front of her the whole time.
They've tried to run a couple of plays with some stacked screens, and we've defended them well.
Yep. Now Lavrine spin move back to the left side. She lays it off the glass. Good. 29-22. Lavrine with 4 points in the ball game. 1:20 to play in the third quarter.
They've gone back to that press that they were running some in the first half and just got a steal.
Yep, and now 14. Minley Long with another layup. She leads all scorers in the ball game, the first player into double figures, and just like that, Brookland cuts into this lead down to 5 with 1 minute to play in the third quarter. And that time knocked out of bounds. Brookland amping up their defense right now.
Taylor had a good idea. Sarah James Stone had come loose underneath the goal, but Brookland was able to tip the pass out of bounds.
Lopez inbounding, just throws it out top. Brookland did a good job defending there as Lady Tigers were trying to get a good look at the basket inside. 45 seconds to play in the quarter. Well, a nice job by Parker. Lavrine really harassing her on defense, and she did a good job keeping control of the ball there. Now 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. Bartholomew stuck in a little bit of traffic there and stolen away by Long. She gets it all the way to the basket and finishes with a layup. The lead is down to 3 with 20 seconds to play. Third quarter here. Lopez with the ball now, picked off at the half-court line, and here comes Brookland again. Spin move by Long, no good. She gets her own rebound, no good again. Nice rebound once again by Bartholomew. 3 seconds to play at the buzzer. Off the backboard, no good. Boy, that was a fast and furious finish for Brookland. They cut that lead from 9 down to 3, and that was about in a minute of time frame there, Dr. Williams.
Well, they got, I think, 4 steals off of that press and scored with 3 of them, and they're a little bit longer than we are, and we try those longer passes, and they've been able to get their hands on them and get it going the other direction.
Yeah, and Lynn and I were talking yesterday in the CrossFit game that once you broke that pressure, you had some really good opportunities to just keep going. And Brookland seems a little bit more sound defensively in the full court. And one of the things that I think has kind of hurt us is we don't see a whole lot of full court pressure in our conference throughout the season. I think the last time we really saw a full court aggressive defense was in the non-conference back in November, December. So it's been a while, and that takes a little bit of an adjustment period.
And their press is a little bit different than some. They've had as
yes.
many as all 5 girls up in the front court, sometimes 4 with the safety back there, like you say, a little more sound on defense. But they do have long arms, and they're getting their hands on a lot of balls.
Well, this will be a long 8 minutes here for whoever is going to win it. The clock is not going to go fast enough for us, I know, with the lead. Three-point lead as the start of the fourth quarter gets underway here. Brookland with the ball. Neither team with a lot of fouls. 3 fouls called on Brookland, 1 called on the Lady Tigers in that third quarter. And just as I say, right on cue, we get a foul called, I believe, on Taylor Harton. Excuse me, that's Maddie Harton. That's Maddie's first foul.
That's her
game.
first foul. Oh,
nice.
Come on. Taylor's come up with the ball on out of bounds.
Oh, good job by Taylor there. Brookland was closing quick on her. She's going to get to go to the free throw line.
I think that's going to be the 3rd foul on number 20 for Brookland. That's Rachel Gramling.
Harton with the first free throw is up and good, and that is on Grambling, so it is her 3rd foul. And that was unfortunate for her because she didn't throw the ball away, but she ends up getting her 3rd foul as Taylor Harton knocks down the 2nd free throw. Taylor with 6 points in the ball game, back up to a 5-point lead for Prairie Grove. Taylor Dawson, Sarah James Stone giving the Lady Tigers some good minutes off the bench, while Bartholomew. There's a and 1 basket opportunity there for Brookland as Lavrine drives it inside, and she's really started to attack more on offense here in the second half. Coach Froud, I believe, is going to use a timeout. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cox and Bartholomew maybe get back into the ball game. 7:25 to play in the ball game, and Lavrine will come back to shoot an and 1 free throw.
Well, this game's been very hard played by both teams, and you can tell by the score there's been good defense on both ends, and I think it's going to go right down to the wire, and probably going to have to hit some free throws down the road, and we might they have 5 team fouls on them, so we may be getting the 1-and-1 here if we'll be strong with the ball.
Especially with their full court pressure, and that's going to be a key is how we're able to handle that pressure the end part of the third quarter. As we mentioned, committed 3 or 4 turnovers there. As Lavrine comes out of the timeout with the free throw, and it's no good. Oh, and that's going to be the 4th foul on Grambling. Great block out by Maddie Harton inside, and Grambling goes over the back. It's going to be her 4th foul. And here's the full court pressure, 7:20 to play in the game. Nice job that time.
Maddie Harton helped break that one, got the pass to Taylor.
Good job by Maddie coming to the ball on that pass. Brookland really trying to get into those passing lanes now. 7 minutes to play in the ball game. Maddie eyes it from the outside, and she got it. That's a huge shot right there. Boy, they left her open and just gave her enough daylight. Maddie made them pay once again, but Lavrine drives it back quickly down the floor for Brookland. She's going to be fouled and go to the line to shoot 2 more free throws.
Maddie's got 12 points on the day now.
Lopez picked up that foul. It's her 2nd foul. Lavrine gets the friendly bounce there to go in. And now Cox and Bartholomew check back into the game for the Lady Tigers. As Grambling is also going to take a breather for Brookland with 4 fouls. 6:45 to play in the ball game. Lavrine misses that one, and that's big because it doesn't allow Brookland to set up their press. So big miss there for the Lady Bearcats. Bartholomew trying to go to the basket again. She's going to be fouled. Are they going to call? They're going to call it on the floor that time, which I think that's the right call there. But once again, Camry really aggressive on the offensive end, trying to put the ball on the floor and get to the basket. 6:30 to play in the ball game. Lady Tigers protecting a 5-point lead. It's been as much as 9. Brookland has led once in the ball game. Now Bartholomew going all the way to the basket once again, and she's fouled.
I think she's drawn 4 fouls on Brookland by those drives to the basket, and of course made some points with that as well.
Well, and I have to be honest, I haven't seen her in the games that I've seen at least go into the basket this many times, Dr. Williams. I've seen her more of a stand at the three-point line and hit the outside shot, but she's doing a great job of scoring in a lot of different ways this afternoon.
That one was a 2-point shot, but we are in the 1-and-1 now, so that might be an advantage going down the stretch.
Exactly right. Bartholomew hits both free throws. The foul was called on Grambling, or excuse me, not Grambling. I don't know who they got that foul on for Brookland. I missed it there, but
I think it was number 10.
Was
They got
10?
20
Okay.
on the board.
Okay.
Oh, my. Looked like Camry had come up with the steal, but I think they're going to end up calling her for the foul there.
Well, it seems to have tightened up a little bit as far as the officiating. Gotten a lot of these little ticky-tack kind of fouls here in the last few minutes.
Well, once earlier in the game, she'd gotten a steal like that, and Brookland actually ended up getting the foul as they tried to wrestle the ball from her.
Grambling going to shoot it from the outside. It's short. Milligan gets the rebound for Brookland. And now Maddie Harton going to be called for a push. That's going to be the 5th team foul on Prairie Grove. It'll just be Maddie's first, I believe.
It may be her second. I think she had one earlier this quarter. Well,
yeah, I think you're right, but
the scoreboard doesn't have it right.
If we can't trust the scoreboard, who can we trust? Well, they've got it on that scoreboard correct. I don't think it's correct on the baseline scoreboard. Ball's tied up by the Lady Tigers, and Prairie Grove will get it back with 5:49 to play. Nice defense once again.
Ashley Cox made a good move around the larger Grambling and knocked the ball loose and ended up getting it tied up, and the ball's Prairie Grove's hands.
Outstanding job by Ashley that time, and Lady Tigers just playing solid defense once again today. Here's the key, is that full court press offense here. Got to be careful getting the ball trapped on those sidelines. A nice job by Maddie and Camry working together to get the ball out of there. 5.5 minutes to play in the ball game. 7-point lead for the Lady Tigers. Semifinal berth at stake. Maddie working on Milligan. She gets by her and that's a nice little slide step to get around the post player. Wasn't able to finish the basket, but another offensive rebound for the Lady Tigers.
Ashley Cox tipped it out, and Taylor Harton came up with the loose ball.
5:09 to play. Brookland's going to take another timeout. It'll be their second timeout of the ball game. Each coach with 3 timeouts remaining. This is going to be a 30-second timeout as well. At what point, Dr. Williams, do you feel like you get the ball in the front court and you go to that 4 corners type of game or that spread type of game to where you're not wanting anything other than a layup? If you don't get a layup, you're not shooting the ball. At what point, sometimes it's too early, what point do you see us going to that?
Well, we're showing patience now, but I really think if this is a big possession, if we score here, even if it's a 2, we're going to be up 3 possessions at least, and I think if we were to get the ball back and have a 9-point lead, we might see that happen here as we get to the 4-minute mark.
I think you're right. Coach Froud has an opportunity here coming out of the timeout to be able to set up exactly what he wants on this offensive possession. Lopez comes to the ball. Now, nice job there getting the ball to Maddie Harton. Taylor Harton drives baseline off the glass. Oh, and they call a charge on Taylor.
Oh, my, the defense looked like he was even behind the goal
under
there.
the basket at least, but again, in the high school game, there's no little, what is that little circle there?
It was, she had the opening if she could have pulled up and made that shot, but that call could have gone either way, and but it's a good play by Brookland.
Yeah, Lavrine stepped in to take the charge, so a nice play by her. 5 minutes to play. That's Taylor Harton's first foul. There's a 3-point on the way. Long got it to go. Minley Long leads all scores. Lead is back down to 4. She's got 16 points. Now Bartholomew gets in between the defenders there. And now with Prairie Grove in the bonus, Camry's going to go to the line to shoot 1-1.
Brookland also got in the bonus on that last foul, but since there's a player control foul, did not get to shoot the free throws.
Yeah, both teams will be shooting free throws for the remainder 4:40 of the game, and that's a big one right there as Bartholomew gets it to go. The front end of the 1-1. Camry is now up to 11 points in the ballgame. Second free throw is a little bit too strong. Fight for the rebound, and Ashley Cox gets it for the Lady Tigers, and a great use of a timeout right there by Coach Froud to save possession of the ball. Nice rebound by Ashley.
What hustle there. You know, those kind of little plays may very well make the difference down the stretch as we go to the end of this ball game.
Well, that's a full timeout taken by Prairie Grove. We're going to take a timeout with them with 4:38 to play. Lady Tigers up by 5.
Let's face it, life's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that place in Prairie Grove is Frederick's One Stop, serving Prairie Grove since 1975. They say, go Tigers!
Back here in Ozark coming out of the timeout. Coach Froud with 2 timeouts left, and that could be critical. We've gotten ourselves stuck at the half court on the baseline and on the sideline a couple of times. A good use of a timeout right there to keep the ball for the Lady Tigers. A 5-point lead with 4:38 to play. Ball knocked away, but Taylor comes away with it. It's a good little inbounds play by the Lady Tigers, but Brookland defended it well also.
They did. I think if that was soccer, we'd have called that a header there by their defensive player. They're trying to keep the pressure up in the half court, but it is out of a man-to-man.
Well, Maddie Harton gets it over to Bartholomew. Boy, those driving lanes seem like they're really open as Brookland's really spread out on defense. And once again, a great finish at the basket by Camry Bartholomew. 13 points in the afternoon for her. Big basket there for the Lady Tigers. It's back up to a 3-possession game, 39-32 with 3:45 to play in the ball game. Long with another open look, and man, she's made us pay a couple times from the outside. She missed her first 2 3-pointers, and I don't know if she's missed since then. Lead is back down to 4. That time, good job by the Lady Tigers in the press offense. And now 4 corners. Here we go, Dr. Williams. Here comes the milk the clock game for the Lady Tigers.
We're going to make them come out and play the defense. We just need to handle the ball well, and we'll probably end up on the free throw line.
Yep. 3:05 to play. And there's really not a good player out there on the floor to foul if you're Brookland. Now less than 3 minutes to play. On the next foul, the Lady Tigers will still be shooting a 1-and-1. Nice execution by the Lady Tigers, and now they are going to foul. Lavrine is going to foul and put Parker Lopez at the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
That is their 9th team foul, so this is the last 1-and-1. We'll be shooting 2 every time from here on out.
Well, we've done a much better job of handling the press offense or the press defense in the 4th quarter. We're starting to look a little shaky in that 3rd quarter towards the end of it, but we've settled down and figured out a way to break it. Here's the first free throw for Lopez, and that's a big one right there. And she earns a second one now with the 5-point lead for Prairie Grove.
Brookland sub Gramling back in, who's been playing with 4 fouls for a while, and they've kind of been doing that, protecting her on defense and putting her back in on offense.
Lopez hits both free throws. The lead is back up to 6. Still a 2-possession ball game with 2:40 to play in the ball game.
Nice defense again by Ashley
job.
Cox.
Boy, Ashley just always around those loose balls, it seems like.
Twice this quarter, she's gotten just around her just enough to tip the ball away, and there's been jump balls each time. This one stays with Brookland.
2:36 to play. Now Brookland having a hard time getting the ball in bounds. They get it to Thompson.
Ball comes loose.
Oh, now we're going to get it back here.
That's Camry Bartholomew.
Yeah, Bartholomew has played outstanding this afternoon. Defense and offense, all around great game for her.
Now they're going to try to set up on the sideline play with some pressure in the backcourt.
Here comes Maddie Harton
Watch
into the
out.
front court, knocked away.
Maddie forgot that there's a defender coming up behind her, but they knocked it out of bounds and remained with Prairie Grove.
I was looking at the sideline play, and Brookland didn't have a safety back. I thought we were going to throw it deep. We actually did a good job of getting it into the front court, but Brookland, to their credit, came up with a knockaway there. The Lady Tigers will get it back, though, with 2:20 to play in the ball game.
We'll see how long they chase the ball before they have to foul this time.
Yeah, and at some point, I think with the way they're doing it, you may get a wide-open layup from Ashley Cox, and instead, Brookland's going to foul Taylor Harton. And Taylor will be shooting 2 free throws this time. Foul was called on number 21 for Brookland. That's her 4th foul.
If we can keep hitting our free throws, it'll keep the pressure on them as we get down to close to the 2-minute mark. Up by 7 now.
Up by 7, and that was a big free throw there. It's now a 3-possession ball game. Second free throw on the way. It's too strong. Lavrine comes away with it for Brookland. 2:05 to play in the ball game.
They're trying to get it to Grambling.
Yeah, they sure are. Now gets it over to Long. An open look in the corner for her. That's
big
the first
rebound.
Oh. Well, that was unfortunate there. Taylor couldn't get her balance. I actually think her and Ashley were fighting for the rebound there, and they just bumped each other enough to lose her balance there. That was the first miss from the outside.
Tough play. We'd gotten in position and gotten the rebound. And
Thompson lets it go from the outside. No good. Bartholomew with another rebound.
Blocked out very well there.
Oh, great job by Ashley Cox.
She got the ball but couldn't get a clean layup and had the sense to pull it out and get it to her guards out front.
Yeah, great job there. Now Maddie Harton going to be fouled and go to the line. And with 1.5 minutes to play, Lady Tigers going to have a chance to put this one away at the free throw line in the closing minutes. The foul was called on Long for Brookland. It's her 2nd foul. She's had an outstanding ball game as well. 19 points for her. Maddie Harton with 12 points, a chance to add to that. First free throw is on the way, and it is good. And Maddie with 13 points. She joins Bartholomew with 13. We're going to have a timeout taken by, I believe Brookland took that.
I think you look at the scoreboard right now and you see Maddie and Bartholomew with 13 points each, Lopez with 9, Taylor Harton with 8. It just shows how tough our team is to stop across the board.
Yeah, there's just not that one girl that you can hone in on defensively and game plan for. You really have to game plan for all 4 of those scorers and all 4 of those guards on the outside. And as we've seen this afternoon, we saw it a little bit yesterday with Lopez going to the basket. I think she had 18 points, and I think 8 of those were layups.
Right.
But Bartholomew's kind of done the same thing. I think she may have hit 1 3-pointer. I don't recall, but everything else has been off the dribble for her, and she's been able to score in a different way than we've seen this year. So credit to her there. Brookland called that. I think Coach Froud called that timeout maybe. Or was it Brookland? Yeah, it was one of the 2.
If the scoreboard's correct, I think it was Brookland.
Okay.
Because both teams are down to 2 timeouts now.
Lady Tigers 90 seconds away from getting into the semifinals.
Got to hand it to our crowd. We've had a huge contingent come down here and standing and cheering coming out of that timeout.
It's been great to have about an hour and 15-minute drive to the state tournament. That one rolls around the basket and falls out. Brookland gets it back, down 8. They've got to go quickly here. 3-point shot on the way from Lavrine, no good, tipped away. Lavrine comes away with the ball. And now Grambling cut off on the baseline by Cox. Milligan attempting to go in the lane. A little runner there. She got it to go.
It's a tough shot. I don't know if she scored, but one other basket.
Yeah, she hit a 3, I believe. And now with 58 seconds to play, the Lady Tigers with a 6-point lead. And now Brookland. And another good use of the timeout there as Maddie was stuck in a trap at half court. Coach Froud calls the timeout. It's going to be a full timeout. 51 seconds to play, Dr. Williams.
Well, the last couple of times to the line, we've hit 1 out of 2. If we get another foul, it'd be nice to knock down both of them, but at least one to keep it a 3-possession game.
That's right. Yeah. The Lady Tigers in no kind of foul trouble to speak of. Ashley Cox has got 3 fouls. Nobody else has more than 2. Defensively, when Brookland has got the ball, seems like they've been going to Long. They want to get her an open look, but they're at the point they can't be too choosy about who gets the shot because they're running out of time quickly here. And the Lady Tigers have set up this little 5-girl straight across the floor, goes the width of the floor, and let's see if Brookland puts anybody back to protect the rim this time, and they do.
Looks like they're gonna let us get the ball in bounds and then probably go to foul, be my guess.
Here comes the trap, hard trap being set. Nice job by Bartholomew coming to the ball, and she's going to be fouled by Thompson. So Camry will go to the line to shoot 2 more. Lady Tigers have played great defense this afternoon.
They have, and I do believe Camry was the last person to make 2 free throws in a row, so let's see what happens here.
Oh, she got the first one to bounce off the back of the rim. I thought it was going to drop down, but it didn't. Yeah, we've missed more free throws than we usually miss. She misses both of them, and Brookland, with still a 2-possession game, has got a chance. 40 seconds to play in the ball game. Grambling trying to get a shot. She's not able to. Nice defense on the perimeter by the Lady Tigers. And now Grambling lets it go from the outside. No good. Rebound, Lopez. Now take care of the ball, girls. There we go. Long is going to foul Taylor Harton, and now we need these free throws, at least one of them.
You're right. If we can get the free throws, I think we'll be able to take this game and go ahead and finish and make it to that Final Four of the 4A state.
Yeah, that'd be a great accomplishment. We talked about it yesterday. I think we started off 2-8 or 2-9 this year, playing some really good competition. I think it's helped us get to this point. Taylor Harton with the first free throw. She gets it to go. 7-point lead, now a 3-possession game with 26 seconds left. Taylor knocks down both of them. 8-point lead. 26 seconds left. Brookland's got to go quick. Ball knocked away. Look at who's got it. Camry Bartholomew ties the ball up. Unfortunately for the Lady Tigers, Brookland gets the jump ball. Brookland's going to call a timeout here with 19 seconds left. It's starting to look good for the Lady Tigers.
It sure is. And, boy, Camry Bartholomew has been all over the court on defense, tipping the balls away, tying them up. She's gotten some rebounds, boxing out, probably the shortest player on the team, but has done a great job with that this afternoon.
She sure has, and I'm going to nominate her for player of the game. Dr. Williams, if you have a nominee, we can discuss it here in the last 20 seconds, but Camry Bartholomew is, as you said, making an impact not only on the defensive end, but on the offensive end as well.
That would be my vote as well, so I think that's a good selection.
Camry Bartholomew, and I can't remember who our sponsor is for the player of the game. I can hear Lynn saying it. Everett Chevrolet, player of the game. There it is. It used to be another company, and now it's Everett Chevrolet. Player of the game goes to Camry Bartholomew, and be a great way to end off the day to finish this with a win and punch our ticket to the semifinals, which will take place tomorrow. I believe at the same time. Is that right? 3:30?
3:30 here in in Ozark.
Another rematch with Ozark on the horizon for the Lady Tigers if they can finish this off in the last 20 seconds. Milligan with the ball for Brookland. Taking a lot of time, a little elevator screen set there for Long. She doesn't get it to go. Lopez with the rebound for the Lady Tigers. She's going to be fouled, and that ought to do it, Dr. Williams.
That ought to do it, and you talked earlier, Coach Froud giving some high fives, or at least medium fives maybe down the bench. He's not overdoing it, but I think he sensed that gets us to the semifinals. And what you said early in the year, coming in knowing we had no seniors, trying to work in some sophomores, a freshman into the rotation, and our kids have just gotten better and better and better as the year's gone on and playing their best basketball, and quite an accomplishment to be in the semifinals.
Sure is, absolutely. And we will see, as I mentioned, as Coach Froud's going to get some extra players into the ball game here.
Got wholesale substitutions going.
That's right. You may know the girls better than I do, Dr. Williams. Who's coming in for us?
Hannah Keelan, Cassidy Sapp, Taylor Doss is back in, Megan Reynolds is back in, and Parker Lopez is staying because she's shooting the free throw.
Oh, and she missed it. 7 seconds left. Ozark going to throw up a three. That's number 33, Reddick. Ball goes out of bounds with 0.2 seconds to play.
With 0.2, looks like the last substitution be Sydney Williams coming in for Parker Lopez.
Well, outstanding ball game for the Lady Tigers this afternoon. We only gave up the lead one time. The Lady Tigers are on their way to the Final Four of the state 4A basketball tournament. I believe for the first time in 2-3 years, Dr. Williams, is that the last time we made it to the semifinals? They all kind of run together at this point for me.
It was either 2 or 3 years ago we played Malvern, and you remember lost on a heartbreaker at the end of the game down there in the finals, I guess.
Yep. Well, great ball game this afternoon. The Lady Tigers move on to face Ozark. Dr. Williams, we just faced Ozark. I guess that was Monday night of this past week. And I think that'll be good that we saw them. We realized we can play with them. I think we ended up losing by 8 points, but it was a very competitive game the whole way through. It will be tough on their home floor here, but a game that I think is very winnable for our girls.
You're right. I do think they're beatable. They are a very good team.
Yes.
If we win, it'll be a quality win, but I wouldn't bet against our girls right now.
That's right. They're playing extremely well all throughout the district and the regional as well, and now with a chance in the state semifinal game tomorrow in Ozark. We'll be joining you again for those of you that can't make it down to the game. Tomorrow afternoon, the Lady Tigers will play Ozark at 3:30. We'll probably be on air about 3:20 or 3:25 for those of you that are watching online. Thanks so much for watching again. For Dr. Williams, I'm Derek Dugan. Thanks to our East Lab students once again that I forget to mention throughout the broadcast, but Alex Henry, Christian Dowdy, and Ben Lowe with us again on this Sunday afternoon, setting everything up and producing for us this afternoon. We're signing off. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon for the Final Four game.